Hello, doers. So good to see you again. In our last video, we talked about how to manufacture products in one step. That step being the manufacturing process itself. Well, today we're actually going to see how to manufacture products in 2 or 3 steps. For companies with larger manufacturing and inventory operations, it's often useful to track not only what gets manufactured, but also which components are used, and where the finished product goes after it's produced. In two-step manufacturing, a transfer is created to move components from the location where they are stored to the location where the manufacturing takes place. However, no transfer is created to move finished products to the location where they are stored. In three-step manufacturing, 2 transfers are created. One to move components to the production location before manufacturing begins, and then another to move the finished products to their storage location. In both 2 and 3-step manufacturing, the manufacturing step itself is processed in the same way as one-step manufacturing. As a result, we don't actually need to go into a ton of detail about that particular step inside of this video. But make sure to watch that previous video for a more detailed overview of the manufacturing step, which I'll link below. All right, enough chit chat, let's hop right in. Now, in the last video, I showed you how to choose the number of steps used for manufacturing, but I'm just going to run through them again real quick. So to start, you want to open up that inventory app, select configuration, and warehouses, baited you. Now we're going to select our main warehouse over here, and I want to direct your attention to a few different things. Now, a different number of steps can be set for each of your warehouses if need be. Now, on the warehouses page, you want to find the manufacturing area, and you'll notice we have 3 options over here. You want to enable one of these. Now, for this video, I'm actually going to pick components, manufacture, and then store products, as you see already selected down there. Even though we're selecting the 3-step option, we're still going to see the entire 2-step process before moving on to that 3rd step. That way, we always get the best of both worlds. Okay, let's move on then. Now, for this video, we're going to be using our coat rack product as an example. So I think it's time for us to hop out of inventory and hop into manufacturing. Now, select products and then products in the top panel. All right. Now, the coat rack itself and the components used to manufacture it are listed here. Here, I actually see on the coat rack card that we have 8 units on hand. And we also happen to have, what do we have? 736 dowels and 92 poles. It's quite a lot, and these are used to make our beloved coat rack. Now keep these numbers in mind, even though they're all different and large, because we're going to be checking in on them later. So I think it's time to go practice everything. Okay, it's time to get to the fun part. So inside of the manufacturing app, go ahead and select operations and manufacturing orders, and then select new. All right, inside of the product field, well, I'm going to select our coat rack product over here, and you'll notice stuff gets immediately populated. For the time being, I'm going to leave the quantity at 1 units, and I want you to divert your attention over to the to consume column over here, which tells us it's going to take us 1 of these wooden poles and 6 of the dowels over here. Now, once that we're all set, we're just going to confirm this over here. Now, once that I did that, you'll notice something else happened. The component status field over here changed to available, which means that we have the necessary components in stock, but the color happens to be orange because the components still need to be transferred to our production location. Additionally, and this is actually the kind of cool part, the MO readiness will update in the chatter saying waiting on another operation. And isn't that kind of wonderful? And that's because we need to transfer the components to the production location before we begin working on the MO. So after confirming the MO, we also have a new smart button that appears at the top of the page titled Transfers over here. Now, when I click the smart button, I'm taken over here to a page, and it's displaying the transfer orders created for my MO. The first is my pick components one that we have right over here, which is telling us, well, we got to move those components to the production location. The status for it over here in the nice little teal color tells us that it's ready since we have the components available in our inventory. The second one that we have over here is actually storing the components, which is used to move the finished product back to inventory after it's manufactured. The status for this one is actually waiting another operation since we haven't manufactured the product yet because it happens to be that picking and then manufacturing. So now I think it's time for us to go and pick these things. So on the transfer, we're going to click on validate, and that's going to be so that we can confirm the components have actually been transferred. Then I'm going to head back all the way to my MO using the breadcrumbs, which today, pumpernickel. And you'll notice a few things have changed over here. The very first thing is the component status is a nice healthy green over here, since the components are now at our production location. And inside of the chatter, we can see the MO readiness has been changed to ready, since we have everything we need to start production. Very cool. Now that we have everything we need, I'm actually going to click on produce all to complete the MO over here in the top left. And look at that. Now remember, for a full overview of the manufacturing step, be sure to check out the one-step manufacturing video linked below. Now, if we had enabled two-step manufacturing on the settings page for our warehouse, the manufacturing process would be complete at this point. However, since we're using three-step manufacturing, there's just one more thing we need to do. You guessed it, we need to process the store finished product transfer to move our finished coat rack into inventory. To do so, I'm actually going to click on that smart button again, and you'll notice the very first one that we had for picking is done at this point. And now the other one is set to ready. So I'm going to click on that transfer, and then I'm going to click validate on the top, and voila, chef's kiss. We've manufactured one coat rack and transferred it to inventory. It doesn't get much easier than that. Now, before I let you go, let's just check on the on-hand counts for our coat rack and its components one more time. We're going to select products and then products up at the top. Now, below this, below me actually, you'll see a small graphic that tells us those numbers that I'm sure you remembered. And immediately what we can see now is that there are now 9 units of the coat rack since we made one, and 8 plus 1 is 9. And then looking over here, our wooden dowels have gone down, as well as our wooden pole. Additionally, these on-hand counts went down since we manufactured something, and that math checks out. As always, our product counts remain accurate based on the number of components used and products manufactured. And that's it for today, my lovely Odooers, bro-doers as well. You know how to manufacture products using 2 and 3 steps now. I hope to see you all again for another tutorial. Go grab a snack.